Hello and welcome to DaVinci Resolve for Apple Color users with me, Ben Brownlee. In this course we are going to be looking at DaVinci Resolve through the eyes of an Apple Color user. So to begin with, your way of working is going to seem very different, but what we're going to be looking at over the next few hours is actually how well and easily you're going to be able to take over your Apple Color skills into DaVinci Resolve. So there are some big differences between the two bits of software, but there are, at the root of it, there are some really big similarities as well. Most of the core tool functionality that you have in Apple Color, you also have in DaVinci Resolve as well. You've actually just got more tools to work with, and some of the tools that you've been working with in Apple Color actually work better in Resolve. But the whole workflow and the whole layout is so different to begin with, it actually can seem rather confusing. For a start, we don't have rooms anymore. So that structure of setting up your project, working through your primaries, your secondaries, into your color effect room and the primary out, that doesn't actually exist anymore in Resolve. What we have in Resolve instead is nodes. Now, I'm actually a very big fan of nodes, because what these are going to let us do is to create our own workflow. So we don't have to work through in a strict order. We can very easily change our mind about where things are going at any time. And we'll be taking a big look at nodes here. So essentially each of these nodes here gives me almost the same functionality that I had within the entire Apple Color workspace. So actually, when we start working through this, we've actually got more opportunities to push things in the ways that we want them to go to, and a bit more flexibility than we had previously. We've also got a much more vigorous way of saving our presets and coming in and checking out what we've done on previous shots, so we can either duplicate the results we've had or just apply certain parts of our shot to the next shot in the grade. So we can actually pick and choose what sections of the grade that we're going to take over onto our next shot. So we're going to be going in depth into the interface and the tools that we have in there as well. And we'll also be taking a look at things like the tracker, which is extremely robust and will be saving us a whole load of time when it comes to motion tracking and keyframing our shapes. But again, one of the important things that I want to be looking at is workflow and how it is we maintain or improve our workflow when we make that transition from Apple Color to Resolve. But again, there's a robustness about this workflow that is designed to help us move and work as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Whether we've got things like an EDL or an XML file to work with or not, or whether we've just been handed a single QuickTime movie to start grading up, things like that were actually quite a pain to work with previously, we can go in and we can use the tools like the scene detection tools to very quickly and very easily get going into our project. So as I said, we don't have rooms anymore. We do have tabs though. And the tabs at the bottom are just the sort of general ways of working through our project. So we have the configuration where we're going to start to set up our system. And we can set this up either system-wide or project by project. And we can also have a look at our media bin, because the media management here is also very different than it was in Color. We've also got a conform as well, so if we do need to make changes, we can do that. We can also use this to quite happily take our master edit and very quickly reversion it without actually doing a lot of extra work. We have, of course, the color room, where we'll be spending most of our time with lots and lots of different tools down here, some of which are going to seem different, but a lot of them are going to seem very familiar. They're just wrapped in a different set of clothes. We've talked a little bit about motion tracking. We'll be going further into that as well, and the different ways that we can use that directly within Resolve, and how we can start to manage our grades so we can save presets for recycling later into other projects, or just using on different shots later on in the grade itself. There are also ways of reconforming our media directly within Resolve. This isn't going to be a focus of this particular training. The same with being able to record directly to a deck straight out of the system. This is something we'll tangentially look at, but won't be part of the main workflow we'll be exploring. As we mentioned earlier, we'll be taking a look at how we can start to get that file-based workflow moving as smoothly as possible. So depending on what we've been delivered, our output format is probably going to be, one of a very limited number of options, but we have a whole load of options to suit, your particular needs. And we'll be taking a look at that in a short period of time. So that's it for our really brief overview. We do have a lot of ground to cover in a short amount of time, so let's get to it. And in the next exercise, we're going to be looking at setting up our system to suit our type of project.